Dude, I get it. You think you understand what it means to struggle. You grew up in poverty, your parents worked hard, and you made it out. That's awesome. But let me tell you, my friend, you're missing the point. I grew up in poverty too, with a single mom and 8 siblings. We didn't have government assistance, so we often had to rely on the 5-finger discount just to eat. I know what it's like to struggle, to feel like you're constantly fighting to survive. But here's the thing. My struggles, as tough as they were different from those of black people and people of color. I joined the military to escape poverty and make a better life for myself and my new family, but even with that, I still ended up homeless and struggling with substance abuse after I got out. I had to rebuild my life from rock bottom. And you know what? It was hard. But I also know that if I were black, my struggles would have been exponentially harder. I would have faced systemic racism, discrimination, and bias at every turn. I would have been treated differently by the police, by employers, by the education system. I would have been seen as a threat, as less than, as not worthy of the same basic human decency that I, as a white person, took for granted. You see, my friend, I have a multiracial family. I've seen firsthand how the system treats my siblings of color differently from me coming from the same place. I've seen the racism, the bias, the discrimination, and let me tell you, it's real. It's not just about not everyone succeeding in America. It's about the fact that black people and people of color are not treated as equals. They're not given the same opportunities, the same respect, the same basic human decency that white people are. And yes, I know the word privilege can be loaded, but let me tell you, it's real. It's the fact that I, as a white person, can walk down the street without being stopped and frisked. It's the fact that I can get a job without my race being a factor. It's the fact that I can call the police without fear of being shot. That's privilege. And that's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to acknowledge and work to change. You can't just say black people can succeed in America without acknowledging the systemic barriers that are in place to prevent them from succeeding. You can't just say not everyone succeeds without recognizing that the game is rigged against people of color. So yeah, I get it. You think you understand what it means to struggle, but until you acknowledge the privilege that comes with being white, until you recognize the systemic racism that exists in this country, until you understand that black people and people of color are not treated as equals, then you're just not getting it.